just eat it. Don't wanna argue, I don't wanna debate. Don't wanna hear about what kind of food you
Hello
eat.
and welcome to the Don't At Me Food Reviews podcast, where our ratings and hot takes are 100% accurate, and if you disagree, you are wrong. My name is Mitch, and joining with me this week is a man greasier than the 1978 movie. Chuckles, how you doing?
Doing good, Mitch. What about yourself?
Mate, just chilling. Joined with me also this week is a man saltier than the ocean. Wilson, what's up?
Oh, boys, I'm so full. Went to Korean barbecue with the boys for dinner, and then stopped by Macca's on the way home for a chocolate thick shake. And I feel like if someone came into my room right now and poked me, I'd probably explode.
Are you that German exchange student from The Simpsons? Don't make me run, I'm full of chocolate.
Full of Korean barbecue.
Except it's full of red meat, barbecue sauce, and chocolate thick shake.
It's finger licking good. Alright, the way this podcast works is we've each come up with a score out of 10 and combined these scores come up with our consensus ranking, which will place a burger into at a tier. So, Mark, why don't you get us started with our first burger, please?
All right. This week we're starting with a cheeseburger.
Ding, ding, ding.
Pretty much a classic across the board. We were pretty much in consensus that this is an 8. Boys, thoughts?
Yep, I think 8 all across the board is very fair. I mean, it's not the best burger out there, but there is by means nothing wrong with it. It's possibly a bit generic, but there's nothing always wrong with that. I think for lots of people it'd be the go-to burger.
It's a nice little
This has been
snack.
my go-to breakfast burger the last 3 or 4 weeks heading into work. Don't have enough
Breakfast
time.
burger?
Don't want a sausage and egg muffin. Want something that'll get me through the first few hours of the shift.
I suppose they do
Cheeseburger.
have that all-day menu in which you can get a cheeseburger at 5:30 in the
All
morning
day.
now.
I feel like getting anything for brekkie at Macca's other than the brekkie stuff is blasphemy.
Well, I'm blasphemous, Wilson.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's a good little burger. It's a nice little snack if you're on your way home and you're a bit peckish at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, $2 whatever. Just chow down on one of those bad boys after drive-through. It's a solid burger.
Righto. Shall we move on to the next one then?
Let's. Wilson, what do we got?
Next up, we have the Whopper
From Hungry Jack's.
Mitch has gone to 7 for this one, and me and Mark have both gone to 6. What do you reckon, lads?
I have haunting memories of this burger from working at Hungry Jack's.
That would definitely sway an experience. I've
Yeah.
recently been not introduced, but reacquainted with Hungry Jack's, and I don't mind a little variety when it comes to burgers, and I don't mind the lettuce, the tomato, and onion, the way they've put it out. So that's why I've given it a 7. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah,
Bit of pickle, bit of tomato sauce.
I'm not a huge fan of salad on burgers, so if I were to get this, I'd probably get it without the tomato or onion, and pickles, because I'm fussy like that. But the main reason I've gone to 6 and not higher is because every single Whopper I've ever had has been cold.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if it's because they keep the meat out for too long or whatever, but every single Whopper I've ever had has been cold. So I don't know, possibly a bit biased. If I had had a decent Whopper, maybe I would have given it a better score, but 6 is all I can give it.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Have you had one Whopper and it was cold, and that's your entire basis?
No. I've definitely had more than 10 Whoppers in my life, and literally every single one has always been cold.
Fair enough.
Every time I don't go very often, but every time I do, I think maybe this will be the time I get a Whopper that
This will
isn't
be the
cold.
day. This will be the day.
And it never comes. Like, I bite into it and I'm like, fucking hell, it's cold. Ah!
Do you buy them and then wait 20 minutes and then eat it? Is that another thing that could be an issue?
No. The wait would just be like going down, getting my food and then sitting down, and then you bite into it. And then like I could go back and just be like, yeah, this is cold, but then you got to wait longer, and it's just like, ugh. By that point, can't be bothered.
Interesting. All right. Well, Mark is 6, Wilson is 6, Mitch is 7. That gives us a score of 19 out of 30. Moving on to our next burger, of course, which is the original recipe found at KFC. Mark an 8, Mitch and Wilson have got a 7. Any reason, Mark?
I just like this burger. I'm a big fan of KFC chicken. I do think they do quite possibly the best chicken burgers on this list. More so for the chicken than the actual burger itself. I feel like the burger ingredients itself are pretty generic. You know, mayo, lettuce, chicken, bread.
Yep.
But the chicken's good.
But it's the best chicken burger.
Best chicken, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Similar for you, Wilson?
Yeah, I have. I think I agree with Mark generally that KFC does chicken better than anyone else. There is one chicken burger. I mean, as far as chicken burgers go, this one isn't my favorite. I think of the list, I think it's my lowest ranked chicken burger.
Really?
But I still given it a 7 out of 10, which I think is pretty good. I mean, like the chicken itself tastes pretty good, but yeah, I mean, it's just not the best chicken burger for mine.
Fair enough. Yeah, I have to agree. I think it's a standard chicken burger. You got your chicken, lettuce, your mayo, your bun, and that's it. That's all you want in a chicken burger, and I think that justifies a score of 7.
Agreed.
All right, Mark. Moving on. What's our next burger?
Next we have the McChicken
Okay.
from McDonald's. I've given this a 6. Wilson has given this a 6.
No.
8.
No, I'm reading this wrong. Wilson has given this an 8. Mitch has given this a 6.
Yes, that's right. Wilson, please explain.
So I said before, the original recipe isn't my favorite chicken burger. This one certainly isn't my favorite either, but I do think it's, ingredients-wise, it's more or less the same as the original recipe. But I've gone this slightly higher just because if I'm getting a chicken burger at KFC, I'm not getting the original recipe. But if I'm getting a chicken burger at Macca's, I am getting the McChicken.
That's
that
interesting.
makes sense.
Yeah, I get that. But who goes to McDonald's and goes, you know what? I want chicken. Yeah, it just doesn't sound right to me.
Every now and then, like I know, not 9 times out of 10, I'm going to Macca's. I want beef, but every now and then, I want to mix things up a bit. Get some chicken, and the Macca's chicken, like I was saying, the KFC chicken generally is better, but I think the Macca's McChicken is better than the original recipe chicken, personally.
What? That's such a huge call.
That's a very big call.
Yep, definitely contentious, but I'll cop that.
Yeah, okay. I guess we're all entitled to our opinions. All right.
Wilson's is wrong.
Yeah, that's right. All right, moving on. Wilson, what's our next burger?
So next up, we have the Bondi burger from Porto. Geez, boys, this is a burger I haven't had in a very long time, but from memory, it is. I know it's a good burger. Mark's gone a 7. Mitch has gone a 7 also, and I've gone an 8.
Wilson, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
You're presented with a McChicken and a Bondi burger. What are you eating?
Okay, so here's the thing. Bondi burgers taste better, and there's more going on than the McChicken. But my main gripe with it is that a Porto cooks to order, so it takes a lot longer for you to get it. So McChicken might take a couple minutes to get. Bondi burger, like 5 minutes. So if you put both of them in front of me, I'm picking the Bondi burger. But if I have to wait, then I'm probably going to
go through the whole process.
Do you want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
So one time I was ordering it at a Porto's. I'd left work, gone to a Porto's, driven there, ordered a Bondi burger meal, burger, chips, drink. I got it, drove all the way back to work, ready to set up to eat my lunch. And when I opened the burger, no chicken. Right?
Whoa.
It was burger.
That hurt my soul.
It was burger, lettuce and mayo, sorry, it was bun, lettuce and mayo, bun, and that was it. And
Oh, that hurts.
and every time I go back to a port, I'll make sure to stand there, open up the bags, check the burger has meat in it, and then I leave. Just one experience fully ruined it for me. So that's a funny story about the Porto burger. But I still think they're quite good.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got some issues like me with the Whopper.
Yeah, that's fair. But I had no issue with I mean, having said that, I still ate the lettuce and mayo bun because boys got to eat.
Lettuce and mayo burger, Mitch. What were that rating? What would you rate that?
It was probably like a 3 or a 4. It's very bland.
Did it taste like disappointment?
It did. It was a very sad afternoon. But a Bondi burger by itself, it's got something a little bit more than the McChicken for me. A little bit more, not zing, but flavour with the cheese and the sauce. So that's why I've given it a 7.
You gave it a... Oh, what? In my rankings it said you gave it a 6. Oh, boy.
Well, on screen it says 7, so
There you go.
there you go. All right, moving along, we've gone from the Bondi burger onto the quarter pounder found at McDonald's. Lads, 10, 10, 9. What do we think?
Oh, boy, how good's the quarter pounder? They say the burgers are better at Hungry Jack's, but anyone who says that is wrong. The burgers at Macca's are much, much better, and the quarter pounder is the premium burger at McDonald's.
When you say premium, what do you mean?
Yes.
Because there are obviously the other menu burgers such
Yeah,
as
right.
the
Okay.
Angus and such.
Possibly not the best word for it then. I would say it's
The
lots of
frame.
people's go-to. Like, I think it's the best burger. Like, you know, it's not one of the more expensive ones. You're not paying too much for it, like you are with the Angus or the other burgers like that. But can't go wrong.
Okay.
I
Right.
agree. I like the only major difference from what I know with the ingredients between it and a cheeseburger is like you add proper onion, not that like diced crap. But that
Yeah.
just adds to it. That adds to the texture, and it's got the different meat. Like the different meat and the onion change everything. They're complete and utter game changers.
I've got an interesting little thing here. If I'm getting a cheeseburger, I get it with no pickles. But if I'm getting a quarter pounder, I get it with no onion and no pickles. I actually prefer the cheeseburger onions.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that because
I-
of your time at McDonald's? Because obviously you've worked at McDonald's. Is that just something you picked up along the way?
So from my time at McDonald's, I would never eat a pickle again. The way they used to be stored is just disgusting. The onions on the cheeseburger are actually dehydrated onions, so they come in like a packet of like onion flakes, and you add water to it and let it sit for a few hours. So it's kind of gross, but I think they taste better. I'm just not a fan of big thick onion like that on the quarter pounder.
Fair enough. Yeah, so it's obviously a very well received burger that certainly hits the spot when necessary.
For sure.
And not to mention the other variants of the quarter pounder in the double quarter pounder and the triple quarter. I think,
Pounder.
and the pounder. I'm not bold enough to do that.
Technically not on the menu. You have to get a double quarter pounder, add 2 slices of cheese and 2 meat patties. It's a literal pound of meat. Like, no. I wouldn't be adventurous enough to try it.
But we've all given it a very high ranking of 10, 10, and 9, resulting in a 29 out of 30. So that's a pretty good score. Righto, Mark, moving on. What do we got?
Right, next we have the Zinger Burger.
Boom, Zinger Burger from KFC. 7, a 10, and a 9.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about the Zinger Burger. I've never had the love that you boys have had for this burger.
Yeah.
Like, when you go to KFC and you get to choose between a Zinger and an original recipe, I would usually choose an original recipe. I don't think the spice adds enough for me.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
it's not spicy enough that it tastes any different to me to the regular one.
Fair enough. What's your order when you go into KFC then, Mark?
Oh, All Stars box with a, what is it called? It's one of those stacker burgers, the barbecue bacon stacker these days.
Right.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's just is it just original recipe with bacon and such?
Yeah, bacon, cheese, lettuce, mayo. You know, the works.
Fair enough. Righto, Wilson. Please explain your 10.
So I was saying before that I reckon KFC generally does the best chicken, and in my opinion, the Zinger Burger is the best chicken burger at a fast food restaurant out there. I'm the opposite to Mark. He says his go-to would be original recipe. My go-to when I go to KFC is always a large Zinger box meal. But make sure you got to make sure you say Zinger box meal though, because I made the mistake one time of just getting I don't know what it was, some like Zinger box combo, and it's like basically the same price except it doesn't have like potato and gravy or
The wicked wings.
Yo, you wicked wings.
or the wicked wings, yeah, and it's
That's just
ridiculous.
disappointing. That's disappointing.
Mm.
I remember she gave it to me, and I was like,
What the fuck
I think
is
you
this?
were there. I think you were there, Mitch. And I was just like, what the hell? And I didn't ask for this. I asked for the Zinger box, and she was like, nah. She's some like 50-year-old woman working at KFC during the middle of the day.
She
So-
looked like the most unenthusiastic employee at KFC I've ever met.
Oh, you remember?
Oh, I remember, and I'm pretty sure you asked for a Zinger box, and
And she was just like, nah.
she put it down as a Zinger combo, and then we got the receipt, and we're like, oh well, not much we can do now. So,
Yeah.
having said that, Bathurst KFC doesn't have a great food and health safety rating anyway.
Haven't they gotten heaps of fines and been shut down or something?
It's irrelevant. They still make good Zinger burgers, and that's all that matters. Yeah. So yeah, it's my preferred burger of choice at KFC. Yeah, regular Zinger box, please. Pepsi Max, thank you. But yeah, I think it's a little bit more exciting than the original recipe, and being a white guy, I find it's got the right kind of zing to justify its
I know
spice.
exactly what you mean, Mitch.
You know what I mean?
My tolerance for spice is very, very low, and this is about like as hot as I can handle, and still enjoy it.
Agreed. Anything hotter, and I'd be sweating a little bit.
Yeah, break out into sweat.
All right. Well,
How do you guys go with the Bondi burger though? With the chili.
it's not that bad.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
It's also in
I
that.
feel like it's slightly hotter than the Zinger. Is why I ask this.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, you're probably right, but I think it still fits into that range where I can still
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
tolerate it.
Oh yeah. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Right. Oh, okay. Moving on. Our next burger is the Big Mac.
Big Mac.
966. Mark, explain your score.
Boys, what's not to love about 2 all-beef patties, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun?
Did you have that pre-written? You said
No, I've
Like,
no. I know.
quick.
I know this. I know this. Apparently, like I learned this as a kid, and apparently there used to be a competition when McDonald's first opened, where if you could say it fast enough, you got a free Big Mac. So I'm waiting for the day they bring that back.
That does not surprise me in the slightest, Mark, that you would try to do that.
Yeah, it's not my burger of choice. At McDonald's, obviously, the cheeseburger and quarter pounder have priority. I think it's just too much to handle. It's what's the word I'm trying to say? It's prone to falling apart in your hands,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and my jaw's not that big.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen me eat a Big Mac. I don't eat it the whole whole 2 towers. I eat one and then the next.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be the most efficient way to eat it.
Yeah, that's how I break it down, because I used to have the same issue with Mitch. It would break down. You would lose precious lettuce, precious bun, precious meat.
It's that middle bun. It has the weakest structural integrity, I reckon, and
Yeah.
the sauce on both sides. It's sort of just
It becomes
Yeah.
very floppy very fast.
very soggy as well, I reckon.
But I guess if the
Yeah.
right Mark eats it, then so be it.
Yeah, I'm not. The main thing for me is the sauce. I'm personally not a fan. But in my time working at Macca's, I have messed around with a Big Mac a bit and done some experiments. And I'll tell you what, if you instead of the Big Mac sauce, if you add the mustard and ketchup, take off the lettuce and just have sort of the the bun, meat, onion, cheese, with ketchup instead, I rate that more than that Big Mac itself.
You sound like you're building another version of the quarter pounder, just another variation of the quarter pounder.
Yeah, but it's got like another bun in the middle.
Yeah, it just sounds like
Yeah.
a double cheeseburger, but with
Double cheeseburger with an extra bun in
Bun.
the middle, thanks, mate.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, moving on. So Mark really likes that burger, and Wilson and I don't. Moving on to our next burger is the Bacon Deluxe burger found at Hungry Jack's.
Yeah, you know, the Whopper, I've obviously had my issues with, and at times, like anticipating getting a cold Whopper, I've often gone for the not often, but I've gone for the Bacon Deluxe sometimes instead, and I I think more or less I give it a similar score to the Whopper, not a similar score, but given them both a 6. But I even though I think they taste about the same, but I haven't got any like mental scarring from this burger, so I don't really have any complaints.
Fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've given it an 8 just because I think the bacon gives it an extra point in my mark, plus another patty. So, yeah, just an improvement on the Whopper in my eyes.
Yeah. This would be my go-to burger at Hungry Jack's, but like again,
Mm.
for me, the scarring of just the smell of the meat. It's not even the burger itself; it's the meat. I don't know.
You sound much more triggered from your time working at Hungry Jack's than I do from my time working at Macca's.
Yeah, probably.
Did you not enjoy it?
Look, good people, shit job.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so Mark a 7, Wilson a 6, and myself an 8. Righto, Wilson, what's our final burger?
Our final burger is the fillet of fish from Macca's. Is it fillet of fish or fillet of fish? I can't remember.
Fillet of fish. Fillet o fish.
I mean, I would call it a fillet o fish, but it wouldn't surprise me if I've been saying it wrong my entire life.
I think it's technically called the fillet of fish, but everyone just calls it fillet of fish.
I think it's because we live in Australia and we pronounce everything how it's spelt as opposed to
Fillet
the
of
French.
fish, mate.
One fillet of fish, please.
Anyway, for our final burger, Mark's gone a 6 out of 10. I've gone a 5 out of 10, and Mitch a 4 out of 10. I think that's pretty fair.
What? Where in the world?
Not the worst,
Where
but,
in the world
you know,
does fish belong on a burger? I can't fathom it. It just doesn't
Yeah.
belong.
I know what you mean. If I'm getting a burger, I 9 times out of 10 would want either beef or chicken on it.
Hmm.
And I would very, very rarely go for a fillet of fish, especially since it's not my favorite burger. I think I was telling you before I have some thoughts about the fillet of fish burger. I think the sauce, the tartar sauce, is disgusting, but the rest of the burger itself is quite good. And if, like I said with the Big Mac, I've done some experiments with the fillet of fish, and I think if you again, same thing. Just get rid of the
add
tartar
pickles,
sauce.
onion, mustard, and
Ugh, not pickles or onion. just add mustard and ketchup, and I think it tastes much better. Like if the fillet of fish normal, I'd give it a 5. If you take off the tartar sauce and replace it with ketchup and mustard, it would easily bump up to a 6, maybe 7. But even still, it still wouldn't be like it'd still be the last burger on this list that I would go for.
interesting. I like the bun. If I'm being honest, I think the bun itself gets some points from me.
It's the same bun as a cheeseburger, except they steam it instead of cooking
Yeah,
it.
but you know, I quite like the softness of it.
I think now that you mention it, I think I've got some physical and mental scarring because the way they steam the fillet of fish bun, it is so hot. Like you put it in the steamer and then you pick it up and it is boiling.
Burning.
So I've definitely had some burns from that before.
There you go. So it seems that
That's not my issue with it though.
fair enough. So it seems your experiences working at fast food joints have shaped your scores this week. Is that true?
I'd agree with that.
I think it's somewhat fair.
All right. So those are our rankings of our burgers. We'll move over to the tiers now. And what we've got here is top of the class. We've got the quarter pounder. Do we all
Where it
agree?
belongs.
Where it belongs?
That is where it belongs.
All right.
Absolutely.
Like when we all live together, if I said, "Do you boys want Maccas?" and you boys said yes, and didn't tell me in time what you wanted, I just assumed you wanted a quarter pounder meal.
And you would have assumed correct.
That's right.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, moving on. Our high distinction class goes to the Zinger Burger. That's a fair assumption.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
I
Me and
agree.
Mitch both really enjoy it.
I do.
Mark doesn't seem to dislike it, but
I
not his
don't
go-to.
dislike it. I just don't love it.
Righto, moving on. A nice solid burger in the distinction category is the cheeseburger. We all agree?
Yep.
Strong.
I think that's fair.
Righto, and a credit tier goes to the original recipe, the McChicken, the Bacon Deluxe, the Oporto, and the Big Mac. They're all standard solid burgers, yes?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the way we've got this sort of set out is, the clear winners are at the top, the clear losers are at the bottom, and then all those ones are sort of in the middle, and I think that's sort of where they belong.
Yep, followed by the pass class, which is the Whopper at Hungry Jack's, and then followed by the fail. Was it a fail? I don't remember.
No,
It wasn't.
It's got 15 out of 30.
Ah.
It just manages to get a pass.
There we go. I thought the fillet of fish was the Wii Spar of burgers, but apparently not. What a filth ice cream bar.
It just manages to sneak through into the pass.
All right. So those are our tiers and our rankings, lads. Are we happy with fair results?
Yep, I think that's fair.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I like it. I don't disagree with any of the ratings this week.
Yeah, excellent. All right. Any final words?
Oh, I bet you people in the comments will fire up. There'll be one person out there that will be absolutely disgusted that we don't have like the Bondi Burger in the top of the class.
You know what?
I know
reckon-
exactly who it's going to be.
Yeah. Just fire up, people. Bring it on. Your hate feeds us. It feeds this podcast, and we love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week. Toodles.
Toodles.
Toodles.